2011 GSL August. Today's lineup. Group C. 스타테일 버머 최지성, MVP Violet 김동환, Liquid Huck Chris Lowranger, GSL Killer 신상호. GSL August Round 32 Group C.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started.
Hey everybody, it is the GSL Code S. We are still in the group stages. Hi, I'm Doa. With me is Moltrap. This is kind of a special broadcast. It's Group C. Had to move it a little bit so Huck could get back from the tournament in America he was at recently. But he's back now, and it's time to do the group. And it's actually a really cool group. I'm actually really excited about seeing everybody play today, Moltrap.
I am actually really stoked. This is like a group where you don't really have any like players that shouldn't be in Codas anymore. And what are they doing here? And they're going to be an easy win for the other players. Four very, very strong players here today in Bomber, Violet, Huck, and Killer. It's going to be a spectacular group. I think it's going to be really solid, high-level games all around.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our first game of the day in the group is going to be Startail Bomber versus MVP Violet. Should be a very cool TVZ. It's actually on Daybreak even. So, I don't know. I love the new maps that we have. They're really a lot of fun. But the big story here today, of course, is Liquid Huck, who is just back from America. He's going to try to get to the next round in Code S. He's actually going to jump on a plane later today to go to IEM Cologne as well. So busy schedule for this guy.
He and Killer.
Him and Killer too.
Killer's
TSL
going
Killer.
to IEM as well. So.
Yeah, another person in the group as well. So is it going to affect Huck's play? I don't know. I think Killer's got a little bit more rest than Huck, possibly. Those two play in the second game of the day. And, of course, the kind of newer format for Code S is our second season doing it. The winners play the winners, and the losers plays the losers. And then the winner of the loser plays the winner of the or loser of the winners. And if that's not confusing enough, just don't worry about it. Just sit back, relax.
It's called dual tournament style, and it's basically a miniature tournament, which is double elimination. So it's kind of, if you can think of it as a loser's bracket now as well. Anyway, just so you guys know, there is going to be actually a photo event coming up here.
Look at those guys. Yeah, it says tweet us fun photos, including Pepsi. And it looks like they're going to announce the winners during GSL August broadcast and send you GOMTV t-shirts. That's right. Awesome. We got a lot of new GOMTV t-shirts. And you can see the dates there for that.
There you go. So take a picture of yourself holding Pepsi, playing Starcraft, or holding Pepsi, doing a double flip off of... No, I shouldn't say something dangerous.
Parkour?
I don't know. Parkouring with Pepsi. Something like that. Tweet it at us. Tweet at us, bro, and then you could win something.
Yeah.
We'll be announcing winners there in August. So let's go ahead and check out the recent match results.
There it is. In Group A, we had MMA and Nestea advance despite the strength of Kyrix and Happy. That's not too surprising of a result, I got to say.
No.
And in Group B, we had Optimus and MVP advance. So MC, I believe he went down to the up and down matches, if I remember right. Yeah, I don't think he even got a win in that group.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm going to double check on that. But
then
here's today's match is going to determine who faces Keen and Nada. Keen and Nada getting out of their group. And so Bomber, Violet, Huck, and Killer, the first place winner, the person who wins 2 in a row, will be going on to face Keen, and the person who has some combination of 2 wins and 1 loss, the second place winner, is going to play Nada in the round of 16. So either way, a strong opponent for the winners here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, MVP Keen continues to impress me. He's actually one of my favorite new Terran players, so really looking forward to seeing his game.
김동환. 김동환. 합격당할 생각하니까 혼란스러워요. 크리스 로만저 선수.
땡큐베리 감사했을 것 같아요. 그리고 그래도 지성이 형이 있으니까 조금 싫어했긴 했을 텐데 뭐 다음 선수 제가 여기 있거든요. 헉이 선정한 이지맨들.
페이스리스트
신상호 킬러. 지금 굉장히 심기가 불편해서 인터뷰가 안 될 것 같습니다. 제가 최성훈 선수에게만 계속 신경을 쓰고 있다 보니까 크리스 선수를 아예 신경을 못 썼어요. 그래서 제가 좀 어떻게 좀 허탈하게 졌어요, 게임을. 32강에서. 그것 때문에 저를 한 이지맨으로 생각하고 있는 것 같은데 아주 큰 착각을 하고 있는 것 같고요. 이번 시즌 한번 보여드리도록 노력해봐야겠어요.
크리스?
You die.
제가 저그전을 방송에서 제대로 보여드린 적이 없는데 이번 기회를 통해서 제가
왜 폭격기인지 보여드리도록 하겠습니다.
저도 나름 폭탄을 많이 싣고 있거든요. 자기만 폭격할 수 있는 게 아니고 자기도 폭격을 당할 수 있다는 걸 제가 보여드리겠습니다.
Hey Huck, you see? 보고 있나? 나는 너의 참 아이러니하는 발언을 들었어. 되게 기분이 좋지 않아, Huck. 명심해. 너를 이번 시즌에 제거해주겠어.
Wow, a little bit of drama going on there from the group selection ceremony.
No
If you guys
kidding.
recall, Huck and Killer were actually in the same group last season as well, and Huck crushed him. In fact, Killer was like really upset after that
Yeah.
group. He really wanted to advance.
Well,
But
here
we're going to be
is,
seeing that rematch later. Here's Bomber.
Yep, that's right. Of course, he's a Terran player. Everybody knows him. He came up, won Code A, beat I'm MVP 4-2 in the Code A finals a couple seasons ago. Got to the round of 8 in GSL July. This guy is really, really good. His versus Zerg, look at that, 71%, 5 wins, 2 losses. I mean, let's be honest, though, Bomber's good in every matchup. He's one of the best Terrans out there right now.
Yeah.
I think MVP Violet's got his work cut out for him. But I don't know. Violet said he had some bombs for Bomber.
Bombs for Bomber. Yeah, I mean,
See how that
Bomber is such a good player. We saw last season he got all the way to the round of 8, and he owned Bjorn's face 2 games in a row, completely outclassed him, crushed him like there was no tomorrow, and then just fell apart and lost the following 3 games to Bjorn. So this guy, I mean, he's super, super good, a little bit inconsistent. He's going to be facing Violet, who, you know what, we haven't seen a whole lot of him, to be honest with you. He kind of got into Code S by beating Ace in Yu-Gi-Oh! Not the highest level competition. He beat Kyrix in the up and down matches, only to beat the 1 when he got into Code S. And then he beat Any Pro and lost 2 games to Ensnare last season in his group, so he stayed in Code S. But we haven't seen any amazing results from Violet yet. He's got some proving to do, and Bomber is definitely someone that you have to give your all to prove yourself against.
Well, the big story with Violet, as we can see there, is he's never beat a Terran in a best-of match in the GSL. So it's a big deal for him to have to play against Bomber.
Yeah, in fact, the only single game he's ever won against Terran in GSL matches was taking a game off Ryung, who beat him 2-1 in the Super Tournament. So, now, to be fair, the only other Terrans he's played are MVP and Ensnare. Ensnare's pretty good, although a couple losses to Ensnare, not something that you really want to be proud of. That is, of course, why he's did not advance to the round of 16 last season. There they are. Daybreak is going to be the first map. Bomber eliminating Dual Sight, and Violet eliminating Crossfire.
Yeah, pretty normal to see a Zerg eliminate Crossfire. I mean, despite the win percentages actually favoring Zerg in the GSL on that map, a lot of Zergs don't really like it that much. Bomber eliminating Dual Sight, maybe more of a preferential thing. I don't believe we have Metalopolis in the map pool anymore, and that used to be Bomber's old least favorite map, which is really strange to think about. But yeah, he's actually told us personally that he's like, I don't like Metalopolis. It's a bad luck map for me, so that's doesn't need to worry about that anymore. Code S, let's get it on. Bomber versus Violet here at the GSL Code S. And here we have our Red Terran player at the top of GSL Daybreak from the team Startail. He is explosive. Some people call him
Startail Hammer.
She looked like she was almost double jointed. Did you see that?
I didn't notice.
Like arm was sort
Her
of bending
elbow was
backwards
like
a little
bent
bit.
back.
There he is. There's Bomber not wearing a big headset today. We can't tell what his APM is, Moltrap.
Oh,
no. Down at the bottom of the map is our yellow Zerg player from the team MVP. He may look yellow, but he's actually
MVP Violet.
it's a big watch.
There he is.
He's wearing
See
his
his
headset.
APM. Yep, Bomber, very, very good against Zerg players. He's got a 71% win rate, and that's actually only his second best matchup.
What? Did you see that? There is actually a barracks going up outside the natural of MVP Violet.
Interesting.
Real quick, thanks for our sponsors, of course, Pepsi, G Skill, and Ola ebook as well. Don't get me started on Wybro, Moltrap. He's my favorite.
Okay.
My favorite mascot ever. Advertises for Ola stuff here in
Yeah, you guys
Korea.
were telling me about, you and Wolf were telling me about Wybro the other day.
Yeah, man, we just start talking about him, start cracking up. Can't help it.
Anyway, so we were talking about how MVP Violet has not beaten any Terrans. By the way, I just want to mention that Bomber recently beat Lucira and Coca in the Team League.
Oh, yeah.
So he has beaten some top-class Zergs
Very strong
recently. In fact, Nesty was what it took to knock him out of the Super Tournament. He was really excited to get into the Super Tournament.
Oh,
and
this is
had
going
to
to
face
be...
Nesty. Oh my goodness, he
this is gonna
cannot
get
see that
interesting
bunker.
Yeah, this is a lot like the game that we casted yesterday, Moltrap, on GSL Belshire Beach, where I'm trying to remember who it was now, did the exact same thing. Drone will scout it this time, though. Yesterday, the bunker didn't get
sees it
scouted
now.
until it came out. Yeah, and look at that, pulling just the right amount of drones to hold this off. And that bunker is getting very close to finishing, though. Oh, the SCV jukes out of the way. Is he going to finish the bunker? Yes, he is.
The bunker does finish, and
And-
SCV runs inside the bunker, but the Marines are chilling nearby. They can't get in there. I'm surprised they're not attacking the drones.
Well, here they come now.
Finally.
Not sure why Bomber didn't jump in there right away. I mean,
Oh,
the
he
bunker's
jumps out to
going down.
repair it a little bit, but it's too late. It's burning down.
Well, there are 3 Marines there. That's going to make the drones have to pull back until these 8 Zerglings finish for MVP Violet. So not a whole lot is going to be accomplished by Bomber. He's probably going to kill quite a few Zerglings, though.
And
Maybe
he's
even all 8 with good micro.
He's actually going to salvage that bunker. Nicely done. And kills a couple Zerglings here, but he's going to... Oh, nicely done putting that Marine in the gap.
Yep.
But only kills a few Zerglings.
Yep. Not quite as many as I thought, but
And
of course,
actually-
Marine didn't get there.
That last Marine does polish off those injured Zerglings with some nice target firing, I think, by Bomber.
Yep. Looks like
And-
Bomber's going to do some scouting with that barracks before heading home. Probably a good indication that he's going to be going mech too. Yeah, there's a second factory at Bomber's base going up right now.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, opting not to send the barracks home. He's just going to float it in there.
Well, I really
Let the
like
Queen take
this.
some pot shots.
Yeah, I got to say, I really like this by Terran players in TVZ right now, and you know, it goes back to what we were talking about with some of our other matches that we've seen recently with Terrans finally innovating in TVZ, doing kind of new things. If you're going for a mech opening, you know, why not build the barracks close to your opponent, try to do some bunker pressure like that. Your supply depot may take some damage, as we can see there, but you can use that barracks for scouting, kind of sighting overlords if you got a couple Marines out on the map yet. So yeah, really interesting stuff we're seeing in early game TVZ lately.
And Hellion attacking some drones here in the front. That Spinecrawler's not quite up yet, so he's going to get 2 drones, maybe even a third.
Maybe, yep.
Maybe
he's
even
gonna
a
get that
fourth.
third. Yeah, that Hellion doing really, really well.
And,
Even escaping.
Hellion
Wow.
escapes with 7 hit points
It's a brave Hellion.
for the moment. Oh, is he going to get those 2 lings? Oh,
Wow.
nice.
Hey, man, Bomber's got some good micro.
Certainly does.
Yep.
And Violet has also been forced to build a lot of Zerglings just in case. So he is actually pretty far, well, not far behind, but you know, he is only even in Harvesters with Bomber right now.
Yeah, not exactly a situation you want to be in as a Zerg player in early game TVZ. Bomber's going to have a lot of Blue Flame Hellions very, very soon. He's producing them out of both factories there. And right now, I mean, there's a Roach Warren going up for Violet, but other than that, just some drones. Hellions can move across the big map pretty quick. Moltrap, this could do some damage.
Yes,
if
they
he decides
can.
to move out.
Yeah, if he makes a few roaches, well, there he goes moving out. And he's actually going to go kind of around the long ways, around the map. If he does make a few roaches as soon as this Warren finishes, and he does in fact make 2, and there's a couple more. Yeah, he's going to be fine against these Hellions.
Yeah.
They're
Well, you
not-
know, he's trying to avoid the Zelnaga towers with the Hellions as much as he can. Obviously, you can be seen with that one there.
Yep, and he's just dancing around, kills that Zergling. He's going to go in. He, I think, has just barely missed his opportunity. He might try and run
man.
by, but it might not be worth it. He is going to go and try and run by. He's going to lose a Hellion as a result and forced to withdraw.
Yeah, nice zoning by the Hellions. Oh, but the Hellions sneak
Oh,
around the back.
no!
The Zerglings attacking the Spine Crawler for a moment. That's not good. Blue
And
Flame
4
is
Hellions
finished.
get in the middle line.
Oh, boy.
Nicely done. He's zoning those Hellions away from his drones.
Yeah, those drones are so clumped up, though. If those Hellions
Oh,
get
no!
in there, they can do a lot of damage. Oh!
Oh, he
man.
just get everything. Oh,
Oh, man. That is a lot of drones
Huge
killed.
lines of drone kills.
Jeez. That is devastating. 21 drones killed by those Hellions. That is pretty rough for Violet.
That's actually ridiculous. Man, if only Violet had just done a little bit better with the positioning of those roaches, stop those Hellions from getting in.
Yeah, well, it's tough, man. I mean, Bomber's pretty far ahead right now.
And I mean, he actually almost zoned them out from in his main, and then just at the last second, he sent his drones back in the wrong direction, and the Hellions juked back the other way.
You know, I think he thought the roaches could handle it. He didn't split his drones really at all.
No.
And when you get some Hellions in there on some drones that are clumped up, that is not a good situation. It's about the best situation ever for the Hellions. As you can see, 37 drones to 46 SCVs right now. And in TVZ, that's a big lead for Bomber right now. Pretty quick lair for Violet. He's going to want to try to get some mutas out, I think, as fast as he possibly can. But definitely playing from behind in a big way right now.
And Bomber has produced more Blue Flame Hellions, so he still does have map control. He's able to kind of move around the map.
Yep, and here they come again. Only 4 drones at the natural. Not a good situation, but here's 11 minutes into the game they're all going to die.
Gets those.
That's third base, actually.
Yep, and he's going to get a couple more. Spine Crawler not going after the injured Hellion.
No.
Oh no, he's clumped up again!
Oh, it's just painful to watch.
Oh, another half dozen kills at least. Is he going to get another one?
Queen blocking the Hellions
God.
from getting in, but doesn't even matter.
That was disgusting.
And the SCVs are now doubling the drones about. 42 drones killed by Bomber. This is going pretty well for Bomber right now.
This is going ridiculously well. I don't think we're going to see Violet get his second win against Terran on TV today.
I don't think so.
Here's the thing. Violet does have that third hatchery up already. He's getting +1 missile tax, so he's probably and the roach speed, so he's going to try and go ahead and move into some mass roaches. He's sick of getting killed by Hellions. And you know what? That's all Bomber has is mostly Hellions. He's got a few tanks back at home.
Well, the thing is Violet can't really even mass anything right now. He's going to try to produce as many roaches, actually producing a Hydra Den, which is an interesting choice. I mean, Hydras obviously have pretty high DPS, but, you know, against tanks and Hellions, they don't fare too well. Kind of a desperation move from Violet. Bomber is so safe right now. He's basically doubling the supply. Right now, I mean, we might see Bomber do a little bit more harassment with the Hellions, but most likely he's just going to wait until he gets that mech death ball and then move out and try to kill Violet from that. And
Bomber getting a couple Thors as well, just in case of that Spire, which I don't think is actually coming. So, kind of a nice little juke there. Strategic juke, getting the Hydralisks instead of the Mutalisks.
Well,
so Hydras, won't be as susceptible to Thor fire.
Well, I don't think Bomber's going to be expecting it, but, the Hellions and the tanks are going to handle that. Here come more Hellions. Going to be killing some more drones. We've seen this before.
Yep. Not quite going to, unless he sends it back in. Oh, nope, not quite going to get as many as before.
Violet's drone control throughout all this has been pretty bad. I mean, he hasn't really put any effort into splitting the drones at all. Overlord's going to see pretty much everything there, but what he sees is just going to make Violet a little bit more worried, I gotta say.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how this goes. If he has enough roaches in front to block, to kill all the Hellions, Hydras can, kind of sit behind and do a lot of damage. It's not...
Theoretically,
it's not a completely ridiculous thing to do. Just the thing is, usually against tanks, Hydras just don't get close enough. They can't get close enough with the concentrated siege tank fire. And Hellions, keep in mind, also do their extra damage against Hydras because Hydras are technically light units.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the thing you can do with mech versus Roach Hydras, you can just move those Hellions, a little bit out of the way, and then once the attack happens, you can move the Hellions in from behind and roast the Hydras when they get in a nice little line for you. We've seen that a couple times, so pretty dangerous. Although it is kind of cool to see more Zergs trying to bring back Hydras in TVZ. Hydras were kind of something that were kind of written off by a lot of Zerg players back in the beta. But, it's time to try some new things, like killing roaches with Hellions.
Wow.
It's only one roach, I guess that does okay.
Yep.
And drops being researched by Violet as well. We saw him do that back in the day a little bit more. those roaches are going to be able to zone out the Hellions a little bit more. Get some kills for the Swarm. And so, yeah, I mean,
that's a lot of factories.
Bomber actually has been caught up to by MVP Violet, 174 to 180. So Violet, I mean, we're seeing that he obviously is a very strong Zerg player. He's not out of it just yet, but definitely playing from a deficit.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I'm a little surprised by that. Yeah, but, you know, Bomber kind of let up on him, you know?
He did.
He didn't follow up all that econ damage with an attack. He kind of let up the pressure. He wasn't able to accomplish much with the next Hellion attacks. So Violet's like, all right, well, you're not going to attack me. You're not going to kill me. All right, I'll build drones. He's got 77 drones now.
Yeah, well, I mean, Violet definitely handled everything right. He basically said, you know, there's if I go all in right now, there's no way I'm going to be able to kill him with siege tanks. So I'm just going to keep making drones. If I get lucky, it's not going to come in and kill everything I have. You know, if my roaches are placed correctly, I should be okay.
Yeah,
and it worked out.
And actually, Violet has a huge Roach Hydra drop lined up over the left side of the map. You can see on the mini-map, the Overlord's moving across.
Yeah, this could be
And Bomber's actually moving out to the middle of the map. All of his forces are here for a frontal attack. He's got a sensor tower up, but I don't know if it's going to see this quick enough.
Look at that, all those missile turrets ready to go. He might kill a couple Hellions here. And the sensor tower as well is going to be able to see that. But this could end up being very interesting.
He sees it. He's bringing his army back, but it's so slow. Such a slow mech army. He's dropping tons of units into the main of Bomber.
I don't know, Moltrap. I don't know how much damage this is going to be able to do. Lots of Overlords going down. Here come the Hellions. The Roaches are in front. That does help. There are siege tanks there as well. I don't know, Moltrap. I don't know how much damage this is going to do. Yeah. Violet forced back a little bit there. He's going to be able to kill a factory.
He's going to have to load up and get out if he can. I don't think he can, though, with those Thors there. Actually, he's forced to go in and attack. And, loses his whole army, killing one Thor.
It was a nice idea by Violet, but yeah, Bomber's army is just too strong right now. He's already almost got +3 mech weapons. A little bit of a Roach counterattack in the third, but there's a planetary there.
Yeah, there's no way that planetary is going to fall. The SCVs can repair it. Siege tanks coming up as well. And Bomber, just that sensor tower really saved him a lot of damage because and look at this, Violet's actually redropped those units, but it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, now Hydras against unsieged tanks is actually pretty good for the Hydras, but the mech weapons are already so high right now that it's not going to make too much of a difference. Spire and Hive going up for Violet too, interestingly enough. Going to try to move into Broodlords as fast as he possibly can because he notices that Bomber doesn't have any Vikings to speak of. Does Bomber even have a starport right now? I don't think he does. No starports.
Oh, wait, there's got one.
Oh, he does have one.
He has one reactor starport. He hasn't really made anything out of it yet.
I was going to be surprised if he hadn't made any yet.
But he's got it there just in case. It's a smart move.
Yep.
He may have. Let me double check.
Yep, Raven on the way for Bomber right now.
Actually, just now scanned and saw the Hive.
Raven and Hunter Seeker missile on the way right now. We saw him get this. Yeah, we saw Bomber get this the other day, and that's awesome. I absolutely love Hunter Seeker missile.
He does have +3 weapons on his mech now, by the way.
Yeah, Bomber's really looking strong. Violet trying to catch up again. Don't know if we're going to get to see Hunter Seeker missile happen this game, but if we do, I'll be a very happy guy. Violet trying to engage again, but this is not the best idea. Not the best engagement. He's going to try to pull back. He should wait until he's got those Broodlords at this point.
Yeah, he needs to hold out for that, although Bomber is positioning to attack that top left base, and I don't think Violet can do anything about this. He's just going to have to lose that hatchery.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the Death Ball is moving out now, and there's not a lot Violet can do about it.
And he takes it siege mode. Yeah, withdrawing those roaches, but
a lot of Corruptors being produced by Violet right now. And lots of Ravens being produced by Bomber. And this is something else we're kind of starting to see is late game. We see Terran players starting to produce more Ravens, more Hunter Seeker missile upgrades. Producing some Vikings as well. You know, theoretically, Seeker missile could do okay against Broodlords as well. It does a good amount of damage, and the Broodlords obviously aren't going to be able to hit the Raven or run from the Seeker missile.
And
more drones.
Greater Spire's finished. Set 9 Broodlords morphing right now.
Yep.
There's
Violet
some Thors there, though.
Yeah, I mean, Thors don't do the best against Broodlords, but when there's so many of them, I mean, I don't know.
There
There's a
are
decent amount
5
of
Thors. If the Broodlords stay clumped up, it could be very bad for them. If not, they might just own those Thors.
Well, Bomber could be pushed back here a little bit until he gets some more Vikings and Ravens out at the moment. He does have +3 vehicle shields upgrading, but here come the Broodlords. And yeah, Bomber's just going to make a run for it. Smart decision there not to engage. One tank getting caught by the Zelnaga tower there. And where are Bombers, Vikings, and Ravens? SCVs giving their lives to allow the mech to retreat.
Yeah, that actually slowed things down enough that the mech was able to get away.
Yeah, Bomber's quite well prepared for this right now. There's a lot of Hydras, and those are going to do quite well against the Vikings. This is a nice unit composition by Violet, actually.
Yeah, if the Vikings get anywhere near these Broodlords, Hydras could theoretically dash in.
Yeah, Secret Missile has such a short range, too. Is he going to be able to do anything with it? Here come this. Oh, is he going to Secret Missile? He does. That does a decent amount of damage there.
Nice hit there. The Broodlords going down very quickly to the concentrated Viking fire, though. Hydra's not picking off the Vikings, instead going for the ground units, which were unsieged. And Bomber holds with a significant portion of his army. And Violet GG's. Bomber has taken the first game of the group.
Wow, that was a really interesting game, actually. I mean, Bomber was so far ahead. Violet came back. You know, he tried to do everything he can to win that game. Got, you know, closer than I would have thought he would have.
Yeah.
I like the Hydra Broodlord composition at the end. I think that's something we might see again here in TVZ in the future. But, you know, it's just too little too late for MVP Violet. Not a lot you can do once you're down, you know, 20-some drones and 50-something SCVs.
Yeah, he just...
that early in the game. That's a tough position to come back from.
Exactly. He just lost so much early on. And, you know, we talked about how he was able to drone back up again, but he was droning back up instead of making an army, doing some harassment of his own, or anything of that sort. So
well, that droning phase was so impressive from Violet. You know, he was able to make that many drones and make just enough roaches to stay safe from the Hellions. That was great. I mean, Violet with that right there, you know, just showed how good of a Zerg player he is, even though, you know, was already that far behind. The big problem in that game was just, you know, not splitting the drones when the Hellions got in his base. I mean, he just kind of left him in a big clump. I don't know what you expect to happen with that.
That was just brutal to watch, man. That was like,
it was fun to watch for me. I'm a Terran player. I enjoy seeing things like that, but
I'll bet you like watching those videos on YouTube where the name is like lol 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 this guy falls, and then like know, it's like a picture of it's a video of this guy like slipping and smacking his head on the counter, and people laugh at it.
That's completely different, man.
Okay.
All right, so
fair enough. Next match is going to be Huck versus Killer. There's the stats so far. Bomber taking a win. MVP Violet taking a loss. Huck versus Killer. Killer formerly Songho.
Yep.
Named after himself, Shin Songho.
That's right.
And, yeah, man. So, Huck last season, if you recall, 2-0'd his group. He actually 2-0'd his Code-S group, got to the round of 16, and guess who he met up with in the round of 16?
Who was that, Moltrap?
None other than MC.
Yeah, that's right.
His teacher, I would say. I think Huck has learned a lot. Huck used to have laughable Protoss versus Protoss, and I think he's learned a lot from MC, because now he's actually able to do very well and has even taken games off MC in PvP.
Well, I mean, not only has he, he's beaten MC before in Home Story Cup 3, actually. He beat him in a best of 5, which is pretty impressive. He's got his win-loss record versus Protoss in the GSL up to 50%. So, you know, his PvP may not be his strongest matchup, but it is an improving matchup, and it'll be interesting to see how he does against Killer. Obviously, we saw in the intro video, Killer just pointed to the screen and said, "You die." So he wants to take out Huck.
You die. I heard your comment, and I'm not happy.
That's right.
That's what he said. Keep in mind, Huck has actually just gotten back from North America, and he's been doing all kinds of other tournaments around the world as well.
He might be pretty tired
Assembly,
today.
Anaheim, etc. Here's Killer, though.
And his PvP, not the best either. 50%, the same as Huck. 2 wins, 2 losses.
Yep.
Got knocked out by Huck, of course, as we mentioned last season in the round of 32. So this is kind of a cool grudge match in the group stages. Not something we get to see too often in Code-S.
And that 2 wins, 2 losses versus Protoss is actually only his recent results. He actually has a 2-5 total record against Protoss. So look at Huck, he's like bored.
He looks a little bit tired. I don't know. He was in the studio when we got here early today. He's been here basically since the studio opened this morning practicing. I mean, he just got back from America.
He must have only flown back in yesterday or something. Or the day before.
It's got to be tough. I mean, this guy is dealing with a lot of tiredness right now. Yawning a little bit even.
Yeah, because he was playing on Saturday or Sunday in North America in Anaheim.
Yeah, man. Took out
so maybe a little jet lagged. First game is gonna, or this game rather, is gonna be on Antigua Shipyard.
Yep. And we haven't seen a PvP on Antigua Shipyard yet in the GSL. I'm pretty excited to see how that matchup looks on this map.
Yeah,
and
yeah. And
it's gonna be
Huck did not want Belshire Beach.
No.
Killer did not want Zelnaga Fortress, interestingly.
Well, Belshire Beach is, I would actually peg as a pretty good map against Killer. I mean, Killer's known to 4-gate a lot. I mean, he loves 4-gate. He loves that build. And Belshire Beach is a great map to defend the 4-gate on. So a little bit surprised that Huck would get rid of that one. Zelnaga Fortress, not as surprising. That's kind of a rough map for PvP. So they ended up with something that, neither of them have a lot of experience on. It's a mirror matchup, so, obviously any map, both players are going to have the same strengths and weaknesses. And Killer, of course, is going to be flying out with Huck to IEM Cologne a little bit later today.
Yep.
So these guys,
good luck to the both of them.
Hopefully they're not going to start fighting on the plane over there.
That's right. They'll play on the airplane land.
Yep.
Play some Starcraft or maybe some Tetris.
They sit next to each other with their laptops out. Game starting. Let's get inside. See who wins. Huck versus Killer here at the GSL Code S.